One of the biggest things we see with players is the pivot running out from under. And you can see in this particular swing in the left frame, you can see this particular player's right side drops too low. The hips are running out from under him, which moves the low point backwards. When the low point is moved backwards, this player is going to do a lot of things trying not to stick the club in the ground, and there's a little flick right there. When the club flicks, all of a sudden he gets a path that goes way into right field, a face angle that's a little bit too far left of the target, and he starts hitting big sweeping hooks. So when we take a look at this particular motion, you can see that the rear shoulder is running downward for way too long. It's moving downward for 3/4 of the downstroke as opposed to just 1/4 of the downstroke. Consequently, the hips are running out from under him, and when that happens, the head gets lower. As you can see, if you compare it to the sign, the head gets lower and starts to fall back, which moves the low point backwards. So a great drill to stop this little fall back flicky position is to do more of what I call being a little bit more stacked through the ball. So in other words, this is me just exaggerating this motion, trying to feel like your shoulders are turning a little bit more level and everything's working together. Now, this is not reality. This is kind of a drill to get you the feeling of staying right on top of the golf ball, but you can see there's going to be less hand action in this particular pivot motion than in this particular pivot motion. Yes, there's a little bit more speed over here in the left frame, but you get the idea. But you can see how this player tends to fall back and flick just a little bit, and he'd do a lot better if he could just make sure that he stays a little bit more stacked on top of it so he can reduce that extra hand action. Because once he gets that face angle is way left of the path, and he starts to get hooked.